Let's look at number 5. Frank wants to paint his room in the school colors of maroon and white. The floor and ceiling will be white. Pay very close attention to detail, because when you normally would paint a room, you would think the floor would not be painted. They are saying here that the floor, oops, wrong color. They're saying that the floor and the ceiling are going to be painted white. Okay? And all the walls will be maroon, and the door will also be white. So I've got the floor, the ceiling, and the door will be white. And I'm going to write that down. Floor, ceiling, and the door will be white. Okay. Then it says if 1 gallon of paint covers 400 square feet, how many gallons of each color will be needed? Okay. So these 3 things are going to be white, and all of the walls will be maroon. So I'm going to write that down. What this is just a surface area problem, but a little bit broken up and a little bit more complicated. So again, if I can kind of draw through here so I can see inside this room a little bit. What I want to do is I can break this problem down into pieces, and maybe that's going to be the best. If I'm looking at the walls being maroon, hopefully you can see that if I'm doing the walls maroon, which I don't have a maroon here, but I have a red. If I'm doing the walls red, that means this wall here on the left side, this wall back here in the back, this wall over here on the right, and the wall in the very front will all be maroon. But we have to, so we can find the lateral surface area, because the lateral surface area are just the sides, or in this case, only the walls. So I can find the lateral surface area, but I'm going to have to subtract out the area of the door, because the door is going to be white. So if I find that, when I look at my formula chart, this room is in the shape of a cube, and so when I look at my formula chart, the lateral surface area is going to be big P times little h. Well, what's big P? Big P is, again, the perimeter of the base. So I'll have 12, 12, and another 12 over here, and another 12 back here. So 12 plus 12 is 24, and another 24 gives me 48, or 12 times 4 is 48. So big P is going to be 48, and I can use my calculator for that if I needed to. The height of the room is going to be 10 feet. Actually, this is not a cube. I'll take that back. It's a rectangular prism, but it does have a square floor, 12 by 12. But since this height is 10 feet, that makes that a rectangular prism and not a cube. In order for it to be a cube, the height would have to be the same as the dimensions of the floor. So anyway, the height now is going to be 10. So little h, big P is 48, little h is going to be 10. So my lateral surface area is going to be big P times little h, and 48 times 10, that should be an easy operation. But we'll go ahead and use our calculator anyway. 48 times 10 is 480. So my lateral surface area is 480, but I have to subtract the door because the door is white. And the door is a rectangle, which is a 3 by 7, so that's going to be 21. 3 times 7 is 21. Subtract that out, and I get 459. So this is how much maroon paint I'm going to need. That's my maroon paint. And now for my white paint, that's going to be, again, that's going to be the floor, the ceiling, and the door. Well, the floor and the ceiling are both the same shape and they have the same dimensions. I've got the floor here, which is a 12 by 12, and I've got the ceiling is also going to be a 12 by 12, because if this is 12, this is 12. If this is 12, then this is 12. So the area of a square is length times width, and so that's 12 times 12, which is 144. So the ceiling, let me give myself a little room here. So the ceiling is going to be, the area of the ceiling is going to be 144. The area of the floor is going to be 144. And if I add those two together, I get 288. But now I also have the door. And the door we already figured over here was 21, so I need to add that to it. And I did add by hand, but I do suggest you do all your calculations with a calculator. So this is going to be my white paint. Now I go back and see what they're asking. I'm told that if 1 gallon of paint covers 400 square feet, how many gallons will I need? Well, I should see that I need 1 gallon of white, because I only have 309 feet. That automatically rules out C and D, because they both had 2 gallons of white. So I need 1 gallon of white, which A and B both have 1 gallon of white. But because I have over 400 square feet of maroon paint required, then I'm going to need 2 gallons of maroon. So that rules out B, which tells me my answer choice. I'm sorry, it rules out A, which tells me that my answer choice is B. And yes, that was a lot of work. But if you know how to use your calculator, if you know how to use your formula chart, if you can tell these shapes, you can knock this problem out in less than 10 minutes.